Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Benjamin Shipper. I am a cartoonist, so I'm a writer and an artist of comics. This is my first book, Joy, Death, and the Graven Image. Came out a few years ago, and this is what it looks like. You can find it for sale on my website, benjaminshipper.com. Link in the description. Welcome to this channel. I have a lot of fun here. Thank you all for being, I feel like everyone who watches me and is on this channel is just chill. And that just gives me a lot of encouragement to share what I want to. And this one's today is a little bit of a left field. Usually I'm sharing like comics, comic books and graphic novels. But generally as a cartoonist, as a graphic novelist, I am influenced by so many other things besides comics. And so I'm pulling in a lot of things and learning a lot of things outside of comics that I bring into my work. And I think the best graphic novelists and people working in a certain genre or certain medium, that's what they do. That's what we do. And so I wanted to look at the worlds of kids' books today. And a particular artist, Byron Barton. And like, I would call him a cartoonist too. Just like I would call Richard Scarry a cartoonist. The line between comics and picture books is so thin, I don't even know that there needs to be one. I think there it does, obviously, for the case of semantics, but I would still call him a cartoonist. I wanted to talk specifically today about his very simple way of drawing, and how, as a graphic novelist, you can use that to great effect. And really, the core principles are composition and talking about stuff like stock characters and just yeah. We'll get into it. These are three of the books. I want to talk specifically about Airport. I'll show off Airport. Building House and Where's Al are also fun. I have two boys and we love these books. They aren't like favorites, which might be because of the subject matter, or the story. These really aren't stories. They are they're how-tos. So my boys will be able to build a house after they read this. And so they have a different kind of grip to them than, for instance, something like Virginia Lee Burton's The Little House has, which is a story. So let's jump in to Airport. I guess just looking at all these, the thing that he's so good at doing is simplifying, but I want to say primary. So primary colors, primary shapes, and shape relationships. Clarity is like paramount to him, and that's such a refreshing thing in a let's say in comics, that there are people who are doing this very, very, very well, but it's not the mainstream. So mainstream comics typically are more, maybe more visceral, I guess you could say. Just a lot more lines, a lot more action, a lot more detail, I guess. This just extravagance of texture and motion. But if you think about strip cartoons like Calvin and Hobbes, or certainly Peanuts, like you see what I'm getting at with the more simplistic shapes. So let's get into Airport, and I'll just flip through it and tell you what I'm seeing and feeling. So first page, I'm not going to read it because you can read it on the screen, and it's not a story. It's a walkthrough, sort of a trip to the airport and getting onto the plane. But just the negative space, the the storytelling within one picture is just fantastic. Like it's showing, it's showing going to the airport and then someone leaving the airport. It's like perfect. The little boy that we're sort of following is seeing, like he's seeing ahead. He's like, we're going there, and when we're going to go there. It's like brilliant. And does anyone notice anything funny about the faces of these people? Let me turn the page. Does anyone else know anything funny? Does anyone guess that these are all the same face? It's the same face throughout the book. It's hilarious. I mean, this is a family, so there should be some resemblance, but like this head of this father is the same head that this son has. Same as this guy, different hair color, different skin color, different hair, different hats, but like it's a stock character. And I think for crowd scenes, which I would say are just a huge boon, a huge win to a graphic novelist, is being able to illustrate crowd scenes for a number of reasons, but to provide a sense of life to the world in which your characters are in which your specific characters are in, if there's more and more characters. But having a certain stock, minifigure, to use a Lego term, a stock character, a stock body, or a stock head, is the best place to start off. You can change and add details over as you go in the process of refining your image, but like start here. Try to start here with very simple population of your image, of your setting, with stock people. But just great composition, like the setting wrapping around the middle. It has like it's simple, but the composition has perspective, and it's such a nice, rich feeling. It's like it's graphic, but it's still in space, so that the terminal is wrapping around the bus, and the taxi is overlapping the bus. The characters in the back are smaller than the characters in the front. It's still graphic, but it's atmospheric, which is two of the things I love. Also, like talking about stock characters, stock bags, like it's a great way to just like populate the space without like breaking your brain over trying to make things very unique. Yeah, same thing, all the bags are the same, different sizes, different colors. Even the dog or cat carrier, whatever animal this is, chinchilla character in here, it's like it's just the same bag, just make a little clear top and put some eyes and stuff in there, and yeah, like this is like a clear champion of like color as a distinguisher between characters, and also the variety of color. Like when we get to the boy, who I would say is the main character, or the family, there's more variety of color here. Like this guy is all tan, which makes sense for him, but more drab, more earthy, and we get more vibrant colors there. But just, as a cartoonist, like this stuff should be refreshing, I think, like just going from one place to another. That kind of, I mean, I would say it's kind of a magic to walk someone through an imagined environment that you're creating. And here we go with an even greater, a larger group setting. Yeah, great. Interiors, exteriors. Again, we've got perspective. It feels complete, but it doesn't feel belabored. It feels delightful. Here's another great one for perspective, low horizon, and we're looking up. We're seeing this great big airplane. And this is so like, there's a term that I came across in the Netflix documentary, The Toys That Made Us, Toyatic. I can't remember who the specific Hasbro guy was that said things had to be toyatic, but it's like this idea of playable. These little things, you just want to play with them. And I think that's here. And I would say actually like a few artists that I follow and love are Andrew Maclean and Kickily. And they draw their characters in such a way that they could be action figures. And that's what, Maclean has a few action figures of like Headlopper and a few of his other cartoons. So nice, just basic shapes, basic colors. And you can, here you can see them in an environment in which they would work, which I think is really, just very inviting, again, delightful. Cross section, just like, this is like a Wes Anderson. I'm pretty sure this book was written, this was written in 82. So I think definitely, after, I don't even know the timeline on Wes Anderson. But he was, anyway, I know Wes Anderson likes, cutaways. And we have one here. But it's kind of like, Wes Anderson as well is kind of a primary guy, his colors, and the way that he shoots things are primary. They're creative by being foundational. They're not creative by being out of the box, I guess, or wild, or avant-garde, I would say. They may feel avant-garde because the current avant-garde is wacky, so that return to like basics is kind of it feels avant-garde. Anyway, we'll get out of this spiral. But yeah, just a great placement of that, like seeing, into, again, like this could be a toy in which you're now seeing the outside and seeing the inside. You're picturing where the characters would go when they cross over the bridge into the airplane. Now inside the airplane, perspective again. It has to work. Like, this is all perspective, and it doesn't feel like heavy lifting. I think of perspective, like these kind of huge grids, and which may be part of his process, but the result, it feels very lively. Lots of buttons. You don't have to be creative with the buttons and all the tech to make it interesting. Like it's just texture almost, like just fill up the right spaces with texture. And if you want to change certain things, try changing the color, or try changing, just the color. I think that's another case for populating an image without breaking your time budget. Oh, also James Noellert is another Toyatic kind of creator. Maybe I'll put these artists down below in the comments. Probably not. Just Google them. But maybe I will. We'll see. Another view from above. And one thing that's great as a parent who's reading this to kids is being like, which plane is he in? And so they've got a few different things to reference, which is the color of the plane that we've been seeing, the sort of the hero plane, versus the other planes, but also the number, right? So there's the 6, 5, and the 4. The 6 has been visible all the time. So they've gone into the gate. They actually see it here. So gates 1 through 6. They may actually even see it. No, that's the first time we see the number 6 there. And then we see it again here to gate 6. So there's even like a next portal. So it's the next portal into the space that you're supposed to be in. So gate 6 from 1 to 6, and then we see the 6 above the tunnel leading to the airplane. And we see the 6 again. And let me see it one more time above the bridge in the plane. Yeah, so great, great for anyone doing a visually narrative story. That's a non-word, that's a non-narrative, but a non-literal narrative. It's a visual narrative of making the person feel as if they're in a space, and to be able to reference, have the reference in their mind when they're looking at the current image. Buckle up, Buttercup. Same face. Eyelashes to distinguish the lady. Corn dogs, anyone? Good perspective again. It's like he's taken everything away except for like this guy. It's almost as if this guy is the only thing holding this airplane on the ground. And off we go. Again, perspective, right to the horizon. Zoom down the runway. I do feel like this was a little bit of a missed opportunity here on the last, or second to the last spread, which is not seeing that whole airplane like in the air, just blue all around him, like getting this sort of cut off tail. I don't know why he chose that. Maybe if he did it the other way, maybe I would know why, but I would just want the whole thing there, and even like a little bit of a shadow underneath, but he doesn't need me. Byron, you don't need me. You don't need me. And off and away. And negative space is the hero there. So that's that one. That's this guy, Byron Barton. If you have kids, buy these. You might even have some more. Buy those too. I think they're really worth. And if you're a cartoonist, I would say buy them as well. Like, it's really worth building your library up with all kinds of sources. And when you're just like dazed because you've seen Daniel Warren Johnson just like kill a very intense image, it's like get a little palate cleanse with something like this. Very reminiscent of Tintin as well. But the size, and just like dealing with one image on one page is even more of a palate cleanse from Tintin, who has like all those images together in very small frames. So that's all I have. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought, and if there's something else you'd like me to talk about, and perhaps I will do that. Until next time.